Hi, everybody. Jim Stevens and Ben Mason with you here in Nantes, France for the 2014 ITSF World Cup of Table Soccer, the final day of this great competition, Ben Mason, which means it's the team final, the World Cup final. It's going to be the national team of the United States of America versus the national team of Austria. And the two teams really arrived here in different fashions, didn't they?
They really did. The great American team we see on the right of the screen were expected to get here. The Austrians fought their way through.
And you can see the lineups there. Billy Pappas will be facing Anton Skok. Pappas, the American, Skok for Austria. This is a multi-table format. In other words, there are 5 official ITSF tables. Each individual nation chooses their home table, and matches are played 1 game on the home table, 1 game on the opponent's home table. In this case, it's the fireball for the Americans and the Garlando for the Austrians. There you see the great multi-table player, Billy Pappas from the USA. Anton Skok, really the leader of this Austrian team, will be on the right side. And we are starting off on Anton Skok's home table, the Garlando. However, Billy Pappas, one of the best Garlando players in the world.
You could argue that this is actually Billy's home table. Billy did choose to play the Garlando table in the World Championship singles on Thursday and Friday. So I think Anton's got a real task ahead of him here.
He sure does. The other thing is that Billy Pappas has never lost an international match at the World Cup or in any international team competition for Team USA. We are underway, and the other thing, Billy Pappas demanded to be in the leadoff position. He wanted to come out and get America off to a great start. The Americans won the Table Soccer World Cup in 2009, 10, and 11, but have been disappointed the last 2 years, losing to Germany 2 years ago, and then last year to France in the final. Well, they're coming off a semifinal win over France, an impressive one. Austria with quite an extraordinary win in the semifinals. You play 5 individual matches, of course, in each of the larger matches: singles, doubles, and singles. The Austrians fell behind 2 matches to nothing before coming back and winning the next 3. Watch here as Anton Skok opens the scoring with a snake shot off the man and in.
Okay, go. Don't be surprised to see Anton Skok stay in the game and compete. He's a fantastic player. I think what we're saying to the viewers out there is that Billy Pappas really is in the top 5 all-time players in the sport, and he is so good on every table that we never expect him to lose.
Billy will shoot a snake shot as well. You look at the grip, the wrist on the handle. They'll flip it over one side or the other or down the middle without causing the man to go around 360 degrees. That would constitute a spin, which, unlike those of you who play on Saturday nights, is illegal. 1-1 here in game number 1. We'll play the first game on the Austrian home table, the Garlando. Then we'll move over to the fireball, which is the American home table. The Americans have put together perhaps the strongest team ever compiled anywhere, any place, with 8 members on the team, although only 7 can play at a time. All of them multi-world championship winners, and I think you combined, came up with a combined total of 62 total world championships between the 8 Team USA members. Quite an extraordinary statistic.
Yeah, 62 world team titles and 28 belonging to Todd Lafredo, the man who we'll see playing doubles in the second match. So 62 for the team and 28 held by 1 man. A few new viewers might think, how can you hold 28 world titles? Well, of course, there's world championships in singles, doubles and mixed, so you can win 3 of those per event, and there's 5 events per year.
And when you play as long as Todd Lafredo has, he won his first world championship in 1977 and his most recent in 2012. Find me another sport where you can come up with that particular statistic. I don't think you can. Anton Skok, watch this. This was a loose ball. You see Anton completely back defensively in the goalie area. Miss-hit by Pappas, and then Pappas caught sleeping just a little bit as Skok able to fire that one home to the near side.
You can liken Todd Lafredo really to Jack Nicklaus in golf, having had such a career with such longevity, winning titles as a young man and once again much older.
Perhaps even more like Sam Snead, who I think was winning tournaments well into his 60s. Skok has possession, and he's going to step away and call timeout. Of course, you get 2 timeouts a game, each of them 30 seconds in duration. Great arena shot there from high up in the rafters, looking down on the final area here at the 2014 ITSF World Cup in Nantes, France. Nantes is in the western part of France, about an hour's flight from Paris.
We talked about the different routes to the final. Now, Austria, they had to really fight through, and it's a very Austrian trait, actually. that they've done it many years. They've got to the finals and semi-finals, and they've done particularly well. This year, of course, they're lacking their 4 biggest players, which is testament to the team attitude that's been put together by Thomas Wagner of Austria. He put together a team that, in his own words, were Mace, they all want to be here. So that's the attitude. They're here to play, and they're going to grind out. The American team, of course, we kind of expected to get here just because they're so good.
One guy that isn't here is 2013 world champion Kevin Hunsdorffer, who certainly would be a nice addition to this team. But as you said, they are in the finals. They all want to be here. They really do grind it out. Perhaps they don't have the notoriety of their American opponents. Pass along the outside wall, at least attempted by Pappas, and it's Anton Skok who has possession. I'd like to welcome viewers both at Kazum.com and ESPN3 in the United States. Hope you're enjoying this final day of action. We covered singles for you and doubles earlier in the weekend, and then Saturday began the team competition. And here we are, narrowed down to the final 2 teams. The USA, who many expected to be here, and Austria, who I don't think anyone beyond the Austrians and their families expected to be here in this situation. Pappas circling the ball. Billy, such a great shooter back there, puts that one on goal. Stabbed at the rebound, probably should have grabbed possession of it. And it's Skok sending it up the table. Nice left-handed save by Billy Pappas. Those of you who have never seen professional table soccer before today, it's an extraordinarily skilled game to play. It is a game that these players have all spent years perfecting, and Skok to the short side gives himself a 3-1 lead.
Anton Skok, have a look here. He sets the ball up, and for a very big man, he's got a very delicate touch. Just brings the ball back, comes across the face of it, and slides it into the goal. What we saw actually against Luxembourg, Jim, and we will touch on this, I imagine, in the Austrian fighting spirit, is they were 2-0 down. Anton Skok came out in that 3rd match and won it comfortably, you could say, and really got the Austrians going, and here they are now in the final.
Big shot here for Pappas, who sets it up and then quickly tried to go to the far side. Blocked and taken away by Anton Skok. Billy Pappas, despite the fact this is not his home table, is the world champion on this particular table. There are individual world championship events held on each of the 5 official ITSF tables, Garlando being one of them, and Pappas in Austria earlier this year beat the field and won the individual world championship. Pappas with a chance to pull back within 1 goal as he sets it up in snake shot position. He's looking far side, near side, or down the middle, and he finds the hole to the near corner to cut the lead to 1. It's now 3-2.
Such speed, Jim. Such unbelievable speed.
When it comes to athleticism on a foosball table, no one is the equal of Billy Pappas. Motivation, sometimes an issue with Billy. Skill, talent, never an issue. Trailing 3-2, and you see again, Skok completely back there defensively. Billy swings and misses at this one. It rolls back to him. Pappas will call timeout. So Billy looking a little uncomfortable opening up this first game, trailing 3-2, and really has yet to hit his groove. Watch this, he swings and misses, and the ball fortunately comes back to him. Opening round is Billy Pappas of America versus Austria's Anton Skok. We'll go to a second round. We'll play doubles. It'll be Marcus Thiel and Patrick Steindl of Austria against Ryan Moore and the great Todd Lafredo.
Okay.
Each match played best 2 games out of 3, alternating tables. First game on Garlando here, second game on Fireball. Pappas sends it up the table with a pass attempt, stabbed the other way by Skok. And Pappas will put it back into play in his goal area. And perhaps you can explain for the viewers the off-the-ball protocol, off-the-table protocol.
Yeah, basically, if the ball leaves the table, that's deemed to have touched any external part or hit the floor. The player who put the ball out will concede it and it'll go to the opponent. So in that instant, Anton hit it out of the table. Billy gets it back. But before he puts it into play, he must touch 2 men and ask his opponents ready.
Well, he does so, advances it up the table, then sets it up and strokes it home deep to the far side. Watch this. He can go near side. He can go down the middle. He chooses on this effort to go to the far side, and it's all about options, whether you're passing the ball or shooting the ball. It's being able to use your 3 basic options. In this case, it's straight, far side, or near side, and make them look the same, to disguise them. And then it's up to your opponent, the defender, to try to decide where you're going to go. And that's where the chess game of table soccer comes in.
It really is. We talk about it a lot of the time. It is chess in many ways. I liken it to chess, golf, and a little bit of tennis. So it's one of those odd mishmash of games, but skill, power, all these things are very, very important. But most of all, I think it's in the mind, Jim.
It really is. You can have all the skill in the world, but if you don't have the tactical mind, the strategic mind to add to that, you're not going to be a successful player. Skok, a very intelligent player, sets it up, and he finds the far side of the goal to give himself the lead. 4-3 lead here in this first game. And really the key is, in these multi-table events, to hold on your home table. And Skok is a goal away from doing that, but Pappas can tie it at 4 as he sets up his snake shot. Again, watch the hand, the wrist on the handle, and then watch the ball disappear. It's 4-4.
Okay.
4-4 here in game number 1. Anton Skok will have a chance to win game number 1 as he sets up the snake shot. And strokes it home far side. So Skok holds on his home table. We'll move across the arena to the Fireball, which is the American home table. So a little bit of an upset, despite the fact that Skok's home table is the Garlando. Billy Pappas is the world champion on that table, and it's Skok who comes out on top in the first game.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected that, really. You say it is his home table, but he's playing Billy Pappas, who's never lost a competitive match for the United States. When he wears the red, white, and blue of the United States, he's simply untouchable. But the immortal Billy Pappas looks to be on the ropes.
Well, we move over to Pappas's home table, the Fireball. And really the key in the sport of table soccer to be a successful player is to be a multi-table player. You can be very strong on your table and on that individual table. But if you're not at least pretty good on the opponent's home table, you're not going to be exceedingly successful. Of course, it's always important simply to win on your home table than steal a game, or as we will see if we go to a third game, you can steal an individual ball here or there and come out on top. Pappas looking to strike first. He does as he comes down the middle with that snake shot effort. And look for an elevated effort from Billy Pappas here in game number 2. Always after losing a game, he comes back 50% stronger or better.
Yeah, if you're going to beat Billy Pappas, you've got to up your game, even if you've beaten him, because he's going to come back at you much harder.
Anton Skok fairly comfortable on the American style table, has competed on the American tour in the past, and finds the hole down the middle himself. It's 1-1. A great opening match performance by the Austrian Anton Skok.
We spoke about this before, Jim, and I'll illustrate it here. When you're playing on your home table, you've got to make your opponent go to the corners. You can't give them the easier straight. Now, although the straight's easier, it's an option, but you don't want to give it them to start with. You've got to force them to go wide.
Billy Pappas able to pick this one up on the 3-rod. Sets it up and strokes it down the middle. So 3 in a row have gone down the middle of the goal. Neither player willing to block the straight, as Billy able to find that one. Referee for the match, there you see him. That's Christian Heber. And the timer for the match, Heinz Kiesling, both from Germany. Left hook on goal, picked up by Skok. Billy Pappas leading 2-1 here in game number 2. Anton Skok leading 1-0. Quick shot attempt here. Pappas keeps it out. Digs out the rebound, which went right across the mouth of the goal. You saw the reaction by Pappas. There's the grip of Pappas. That one hammered up into the air and off the table. Anton Skok will put it back into play.
We saw from Anton Skok there, he didn't take very long on his shot. And what happens if you don't take a few seconds, you're not composed, you can't pick a gap. Now, it's all about feeling comfortable on the ball, like in a golf swing. It's all about picking the right option. And you don't give yourself time to do that unless you're taking at least 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. If you shoot too quickly, more often than not, you're not going to score.
Anton Skok makes the steal here, sets it up, and after about 3 seconds, able to drill it home to the near side. Billy Pappas, who has never lost a match in international competition, is in danger here. Down a game, tied up at 2 on his home table. And this would be, if somehow the Austrians were to defeat the Americans, would be a huge upset. The Americans certainly the heavy favorites in this match. Billy Pappas asked to play the leadoff position. Usually he is firmly entrenched in that number 3 position. Look at the speed and power to the near side here. And Pappas again surging ahead, up 3-2. Billy Pappas, nobody is faster, nobody is stronger as he goes to that far side.
Okay.
And we're going to get a timeout called by Anton Skok of Austria.
Yeah, it's very interesting this, Jim, isn't it? Pre-match, you're going to make them 6-1 on favourites, haven't you, the Americans? They are that solid a favourite. So the Austrians are just doing their best. You can see they're a fantastic crowd in attendance. They're doing their best, the Austrians, just to upset the apple cart, as you might say, and to try and get amongst the Americans. And that's all they can do. They've got to try and win it 1 game at a time. And hope that pressure tells later on in the card.
Trailing 3-2, Anton Skok puts it back into play, tries to pass it from the 5-rod to the 3-rod. Most of the time, players will be passing. Look at that pass from the 2-rod to the 3-rod. Both of those with his right hand by Billy Pappas, who sets it up. Rocks back and forth. And hammers it down the middle. Really took his time beautifully there. Watch this. Billy Pappas took 6, 7, 8 seconds before finding that gap down the middle.
Okay.
Anton Skok coming right back, looking to cut the lead to 1. It is 1-0 in favor of Anton Skok. And now 4-3 in favor of Pappas. Boy, Anton Skok shooting the ball so well. This one looks like he angled it and cut it back, which is exactly what he did. Anton, the veteran player from Austria, a member of every World Cup team for Austria, I believe, since 2006, when Austria won the very first ever World Cup of table soccer. The United States won titles in 09, 10, and 11, and have put together their strongest team ever, and in their quest to regain the World Cup title. Pappas can put away game number 2, and he does. So an outstanding shooting performance from Billy Pappas on his home table. The Fireball sends this opening round singles match to a 3rd and final game. And this is where it gets interesting, folks, as we look at Billy Pappas, who was flawless from the 3-rod in that 2nd game.
So it takes a different slant here, doesn't it, Jim? We're going to play on both tables. We're going to start off in the Garlando, moving back across the 5-ball. We're going to go 1 ball in the Garlando, then 2 balls each table, until 1 player gets to 5. But you must win by 2, correct?
Correct. In theory, this 3rd game could go to infinity. And really the key here is to steal a goal. That's really all you have to do. Of course, you have to hold on your table and then steal one here and there on the opponent's table. Anton Skok will put it into play, opening up game number 3. Try to pass it along that near wall. And this is really where Billy Pappas's Garlando experience and excellence come into play in this 3rd game situation. Look out here, folks. Pappas tried to come down the middle with that shot attempt. Rolls back all the way up the table to Billy. Usually Billy Pappas so effective shooting the ball from goal, and Skok knows that. Pappas tried to pass it down the middle. Skok got a man on it, knocks it to his own 5, and then passes it along the wall. That's a nice defensive play by Anton Skok. Skok fires it down the middle, so he holds on his table. We move across the arena to the Fireball table for 2 balls.
More interesting than the defensive play being, it was very, very mature. It was an experienced player, wasn't it? He didn't lose his cool at any time, despite the gravity of the situation. He really did just execute the perfect defensive play, which under the lights, the camera, the pressure, isn't easy.
1-0 lead here in this third and final game of this opening round. Remember, there are 5 rounds, 3 in singles, 2 in doubles. The team that wins 3 matches will be crowned as the 2014 World Cup of Table Soccer champions. Pappas slides back there to keep it out of the goal, gains possession. Now Anton Skok is trying to just steal one of these 2 balls. Right now it's kind of a deuce, if you will. Skok trying to get an advantage if he can score on the opponent's home table. The Pappas has been shooting it so well on the fireball, and that continues. It's 1-1. Watch here as Billy Pappas, there you see the grip. It's not on the hand, it's on the wrist. And then you flip it over, again, not going the full 360 degrees. If you do, it's considered a spin. Going 358 degrees, perhaps, either near side or far side.
Costly turnover there, Jim. A little bit of heaviness came into his hands.
Again, Anton Skok completely out of respect for Billy Pappas' shooting ability with the 2-rod, completely back in that goalie position. Pappas elects to pass. That's the danger of being back there defensively, and Pappas now can take a 2-1 lead. Billy. Try to go back to that far side. Skok with the block and the rebound. Anton right here just looking to clear the zone, kind of to dump and chase it down if he can. You see him jump up there to try to grab it. Instead, it hits off that back wall right back to the shooting rod of Billy Pappas. Pappas sets it up. And strokes it down the middle. It's 2-1. Actually, I think that one went to the near side of the goal. Watch here. Watch the pass by Pappas. You see Skok back there completely defensively, so Billy says, okay, you stay back there. I'll pass it here.
It's a fantastic pass by Billy. And again, under such pressure, these players demonstrating nerves of steel, because your hands have to be so light and so tactile to do that.
2-1 lead for Pappas. We return to the Garlando table. The quick steal, the quick shot. It's 3-1 just like that. Watch here as Anton Skok tries to pass. Pappas knocks it down, steals it, sees the opening, and scores it. So Billy Pappas has broken. He has stolen one on his opponent's table. He has surged ahead 3-1. Anton Skok must have this one. He tries a left hook, which is a 5-rod shot with the left hand. Perhaps ill-advised in this situation.
Very much so. I think the left hook then was definitely not the right option. He's been passing so well, Jim, and it really makes no sense to me.
But he lives to survive it. Tries to pass this time, but Pappas blocks it back into the goal area. Skok steps back there offensively. Pappas gets the left hand on it to block it, but then inadvertently knocks it back into his own goal. It's 3-2, but Billy Pappas returns to his home table, and if he can get both goals on his table, he'll win this opening match. Nice save there by Pappas, but then it squeezes between the man and the wall back into the goal.
Okay.
As we said, Billy Pappas will return to his home table for 2 balls. If he gets them both, the United States goes ahead 1-0. Pappas will first step away and use a timeout.
There you see Billy Pappas talking to Todd Lafredo. Now, we commonly joke that Todd has forgotten more about foosball than anyone else has ever known. And it might be a joke, but it also, Jim, might quite well be true.
There you saw the great Todd Lafredo, the greatest American player in history. 28 World Championships from 77 through 2012, and looking to add a World Cup title here. This is his first appearance ever for Team USA at the World Cup. Pappas putting it into play, leading 3-2. Here in game number 3, he brushes that pass down and will set it up, looking to move within 1 of a first match victory. Tried to go out to that far side. Skok with the switch and the block defensively. Anton sends it up the table, off a man and in. So what a turnaround here. First, Anton makes the block. Then Anton scraps one in at the other end. Watch this. This isn't exactly what he meant to do. Off a man, off the wall, and into the goal. So Skok has broken back. It's 3-3.
Okay.
3-3 here in the third game. Pappas with a tic-tac wall pass. Followed by a snake drilled to the far side, and it's match point for Billy Pappas.
4-3, yes.
Billy Pappas leading 4-3 as we return to the Garlando table. And again, the speed, the power, the precision of Mr. Pappas.
Not many other people in the world get that much extension, and it's his ability to get out there that far, get across the ball, hit it, and square off. That means coming back across the ball. That allows him to go so deep and so fast.
We touched on it a little earlier, but these players spend hours and weeks and months and years perfecting their games and have to show a commitment, as you would in any other sport, to really achieve the level that they have. It has to be a 2 or 3 year commitment to playing just table soccer predominantly in order to get to the level that these guys have. And they are truly magicians on the foosball table. The things they can do, truly magical.
There we see the coach, Thomas Wagner, talking to Anton Skok. Thomas Wagner was reduced to tears when they got to the final. He was that excited and that happy that the post-match interview, he couldn't do it. He was crying. He was so happy.
Well, they were not expected to reach the final. They did so in amazing fashion, coming back from a 2-0 deficit against the national team of Luxembourg. Anton Skok will step back to the table and look to tie it up. Skok. Shot attempt blocked, comes back the other way where Billy Pappas reels it in on his 3-rod with a chance to win the match. Pappas sets it up, takes a look. Try to come near side, Skok with a block. Pappas able to grab the rebound with his passing rod. Billy along the wall with a pass attempt. Through the lane this time, connecting.
He's got one of the best lane passes in the world, and this is a table he plays a few hours a year.
But then it squeezes away from him, and Skok has possession. Pappas can't grab it, does retrieve it with the left hand in the goal area. Let's see if Skok moves back defensively. Ball rolled to a dead stop. It'll be put back into play, which means he'll ask if Skok is ready. Touch 2 men. And the ball now is in play.
That push kick's open, Jim.
Let's see if he looks for the pass. He does, but Skok got the right hand on the 5-rod to keep it off of Billy Pappas' shooting rod. Again, a dead ball. Pappas blocked it. Skok fortunate to get it back. Skok with a shot on goal, and then Pappas with the 5-row slams it home, and there it is. Billy Pappas responds. He loses the first game but comes back to get the next 2, and the Americans lead 1-0. So Billy Pappas wins the opening round against Anton Skok despite losing the first game. We'll now turn our attention to the doubles format. It'll be Marcus Deal, Patrick Steindl of Austria, going up against Ryan Moore and Todd Lafredo, 2 more world champions. Todd Lafredo this week won both the senior singles and senior doubles world championship titles. Ryan Moore, a former all-around world champion, multi-table world champion. So the Americans again standing out, a very strong team here in this second round, Ben Mason.
You just can't look past this Ryan Moore, Todd Lafredo. You've got 2 of the greatest defensive shooters in the world and 2 of the greatest offensive shooters in the world. They both play goalie, they both play forward so incredibly well. And Todd Lafredo has got 15 titles, world titles as a defender, and he's got nearly as many as a forward. He just is the all-round table football package. And Ryan Moore, he's won the World Roberto Sport Championships. He travelled to Poland to compete on that table. He's got World Tornado Championships. It's an incredibly talented team, this American pair, and I think you've got to be honest, you can't really look past them for the victory here. As good as Marcus and Patrick are, I think that Ryan and Lafredo are a different league.
Marcus Deal and Patrick Steindl, a great performance in the semifinals. All right, let's head down to the table for our second round. There you see the tall guy. That is Ryan Moore out of Aurora, Colorado.
We start in 1 minute.
Todd Lafredo, currently living in Riverside, California, but originally a Coloradoan himself.
We must start in a few seconds, please.
That is Marcus Deal in the forward position for Austria and Patrick Steindl at goal. And these 2 really played well in the semifinal match against Luxembourg. Really kind of helped to turn things around after a slow start for Team Austria.
Steindl shot brilliantly from the back, didn't he?
Please.
They both played really well.
But they are up against it now as they're going up against a very experienced American pair who are electing to open the match up wearing their warm-up jackets. We're starting off on the Garlando table. Now, Todd Lafredo is actually a former world champion, a 2-time world champion on the Garlando table in doubles, playing with the greatest player in the history of the sport out of Belgium. That's Frédéric Collignon. Todd Lafredo and Frédéric Collignon won 15 world championship titles together between 1998 and 2012. So Lafredo familiar with the Garlando, but it can be a difficult table to play. If you look at the white side strips on the table, those are actually banked up at about a 20-degree angle or more.
Yeah, they're a good 15, 16 mil higher than the where they start, yeah.
And that shot down the middle here by Steindl is blocked back into the goal by Ryan. It's 1-0. But it is the only table that has those sidewalls, and it really creates issues for someone trying to pass along the near wall, and Ryan Moore creating an issue for Patrick Steindl as he blocks that one back into the goal. Marcus Deal. And you would think that the Austrian team has to win their home game, the game on their home table here. And that ball's going to roll away from Teal, and it'll be awarded to Lafredo.
Yeah, I can't see the Austrians beating the Americans on the fireball. Again, it's no disrespect to Austrians. It's just.
And Lafredo gets on the scoreboard. He saw the hole, and he simply tapped it down the middle and in.
It's just a comment on how good the Americans are on that table.
Watch this. He looks, he sees it, and he fires it in. Todd Lafredo, reading the hole brilliantly, has given the Americans a 2-0 lead on the Austrian home table. This is not good news for Team Austria. And Moore steals it. Patrick Steindl. Shot down the middle again. Ryan Moore there defensively. Patrick has got to be careful. Moore so quick defensively.
You can't just go down the middle against Ryan Moore. You've got to mix it up. You've got to shoot from a few different areas. You go down the middle, you're going to get slapped.
Gets slapped again here. Back
going down the middle.
And this time to the near side, sapped forward by Ryan Moore. Steindl having a little bit of difficulty clearing the zone right now. Up the table here and grabbed by Todd Lafredo. Todd just looking to feed his partner. You saw the ball roll up the side ramp and back down. It is the only table in the world that has that. It is quite a different characteristic from any other table, something the Austrians have adapted to. This is their home table. It's what they play their World Championship event each year on. It is what you will find when you go to a tavern in Innsbruck or Vienna or wherever. Steindl, again, living dangerously against Ryan Moore. Ryan able to brush this pass through that near lane. And then turns it over. The importance of winning on your home table illustrated here significantly. If the Austrians don't win on the Garlando in this game, the Americans would then move over to their table with a chance to win this second round. And they are significantly better than the Austrians on the fireball table. So in other words, the Austrians must win this game. Watch here, the shot off of the 3-rod of Thiel and in.
It's so typical, isn't it, Jim? The longer the ball lasts, and that was a very long point, the more likely the goal that you're going to concede is going to be a slop or an unfortunate goal.
These players really pride themselves on their precision on the foosball table. A slop would be something that is unintended. Here's Thiel shooting the snake shot. Try to come down the middle, and Todd Lafredo there to make the block and take the ball away. Again, Lafredo choosing to just kind of send it up the table. He's not trying to score. He's just trying to give his partner opportunities to grab it. However, the Garlando table is such a good shooting table. I would kind of like to see Todd Lafredo set up a pull shot, which he is the best in the world at, and utilize that offensively. The timer, Heinz Kiesling, making an appearance. Lafredo again, setting it up towards the center.
It's a different setup, Jim. How many people have you seen set up like this in the Garlando? It's something very deliberate, isn't it? It's something he's worked on.
It is. He's just kind of angling it up. He is clearing it every time. In other words, getting it up to the other end of the table. And he's giving his partner chances to catch it. But to me, it is such a good offensive table. The narrowness of the man's foot, the size of the goal, really creates an environment conducive to scoring from the goalie position. But Lafredo's been choosing to clear it. And right now, Todd and his partner Ryan Moore are up 2-1 here in the first game of this second round.
You can see Jim and I in the top left of your screen. Oh, we've disappeared again. There we are there, left-hand side of your screen. We've got a great view here.
Marcus Steele putting it back into play. Advances it, sets it up, and will shoot against Lafredo, looking to tie it up here in game number 2. And he does. The Austrian team understanding the importance of this individual game that they really need to win. Watch here as he cuts this one back with an angle between the men of Todd Lafredo.
Not sure that was deliberate if you look at the young man's face.
Okay.
Ryan Moore putting it into play. It's all about ball control and precision in the world of table soccer, although perhaps the Garlando table not as precise as some of the others we will see. Patrick Steindl. Slowing the tempo down. Lafredo keeps it out, grabs the rebound. Todd Lafredo again setting it up in the center. This game a little slow in developing. Neither team with any kind of early momentum. Well, the Americans have a cushion. They're up 1-0. And they are on the Austrian home table. And oftentimes, when perhaps the opponents whose home table it is are more proficient on that table than you are, the idea is just to extend it to a third game. Win on your home table, go to that third game and try to steal one. Marcus Steele will look for the lead here, and he finds it. As he strokes it home to that far side, it's 3-2.
We'd have to argue that if the Austrians are going to win, every single one of their individual matches is going to have to go to the third and final game. I can't see them ever breaking on Fireball.
Ryan Moore able to pass this one through. Ryan sets up the snake shot. Takes his time and strokes it, I believe, down the middle here. It's 3-3. Watch here as Ryan really took a lot of time, read the defense, and nailed the shot.
Okay.
3-3 here in the first game, second round doubles match. 2014 ITSF World Cup final. This one knocked down by Thiel, comes back to Lafredo. Let's see if Todd chooses to get a little more offensive. Looks like he will set up the pull shot. Puts that one down the middle, stabbed towards the goal by Ryan Moore, picked up by Patrick Steindl. Here's Lafredo again. He has possession of the ball, top of your screen in the goal area. Shot down the middle on goal, blocked by Steindl, but rebounded by Moore. Chance for the Americans to take the lead right here on the Austrian home table. Ryan looking, tries to come down the middle, but you saw Steindl make the switch and make the block. Sent towards the goal. Lafredo calmly keeps it out. Again, Todd looks like he wants to shoot. Steindl living dangerously again. It's so important to clear the zone. Patrick needs to do that, but trying to go down the middle against Ryan Moore is really dangerous.
It's not the right way. You're just not going to do it.
And the clearing effort here. He just tried to get that out of there. Hit off a man and in. When you clear it, good things are going to happen. And the Austrians have surged ahead 4-3. Watch here. First of all, he tries the shot. Now he says, just get this thing out of here.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
And it's knocked in by Ryan Moore.
You're shooting into Ryan Moore, whose hands are so fast and he's so talented. You just really wanted to get rid of that ball, get it at the table, give your partner a chance to score.
And Ryan Moore will step away and call timeout. Trailing 4-3 here in the first game, however, on the Austrian home table. There you see first match winner Billy Pappas talking with his teammate Todd Lafredo, who really is the sensei of this team, isn't he? He's the spiritual leader, the mental leader of Team USA.
You could argue there's two mental leaders of foosball worldwide, of which he is one. And the Americans are just so lucky to have him amongst their ranks.
For the first time ever, this is Todd Lafredo's first appearance for Team USA. For Ryan Moore, this would be his 6th cap, as they say. That one went up into the air and off the table, so Steindl will put it back into play. Patrick Steindl of Austria. It is game point here in this first game. Banked off the outside wall towards the goal. Can Thiel grab it? Yes, he can, and he'll have an opportunity to win game number 1 for Austria. Remember, they won the first game in the first match. Thiel. Fakes and calls timeout.
A good timeout, gives himself a chance to have a little look. Chance to sit on the ball now, have a little think what he's going to do. Jim, if I'm him, I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking, I'm going to get on the ball, I'm going to put it back into play, and I'm going to take at least 8 seconds before I shoot. I want to see if Lafredo's going to give me any holes, and maybe not even pick, whatever I feel most comfortable hitting. The way my body feels, my wrist feels, that's what I'm going to shoot. That might be the best way to score against Todd here.
Marcus Steele puts the ball back into play. Sets up the snake shot. Looking at the near side of the goal and finds the far side. It's 1-0 in favor of Austria as their head coach Thomas Wagner celebrates. Watch here. He didn't take 8 seconds, but he took about 4 before finding the hole to the far side of the goal. The Americans won the first round. It was singles. It was Billy Pappas, 2-1, 2-1. The Austrians have come out to get the first game of the second match. Well, we now move over to the fireball table, the home table of the Americans, and it could be a very different story for Austria here.
Yeah, very much so, Jim. Yeah, we've got 2 fantastic American players playing on the American-style table, and more than that, they're 1 game down. So, as against all great players in any sport, you take 1 game off them, they're going to come back at you harder.
Which
same
means
in tennis against great Pete Sampras or Roger Federer.
Which
or
means
now
you
Rafael Nadal.
need to elevate your game even more than the previous game that you won.
Yeah.
Ryan Moore beautifully along that near wall. They'll set it up looking to strike first here in game number 2. Moore walking it and hammering that far side of the goal.
The pace of this. Look how he walks this ball around here now.
Coming out so aggressive, opening things up. Ryan Moore walks it and then drills it.
Again, there's such great explosion, the extension on that shot.
Pass attempt by Thiel, blocked by Ryan, comes back to Patrick Steindl.
Even more dangerous going down the middle now, Jim.
Sends that one off the inside wall, then Ryan able to dig it up. Pass it beautifully down the middle to that center man on his 3-rod. Ryan really coming out aggressively here in game number 2. Moore faking, faking, faking. And then Steindl blocking. Todd Lafredo. See if he elects to try to pass or shoot. Tries to pass here. He put that one right on Ryan Moore's man. Maybe had a little too much pace behind it. Ryan couldn't catch it, but does pick it up on his 5-row after the steal. And again, passing it down the middle. That is such a difficult pass to stop. You're looking for everything near the wall, and then Ryan comes with that good hard pass down the middle. And follows it up with a good hard shot to the far side of the goal. It's 2-0. Every indicator right now is that we will go to a 3rd game in this match. Ryan Moore has given his team a 2-0 lead. Marcus Steele taking a lot of time here. You get 10 seconds time limit on that 5-row, and he used up
being close.
almost the entire complement of time.
That's what the second official's doing, folks. If you weren't quite sure, the second official literally is looking after time and time only. So he's got an application on that mobile device, which allows him to press 15 or 10 for whether it's on the passing rods or on the other rods. As soon as he presses it, it counts down. When you're over the time, it flashes red. So you don't even need to look at the clock. You just see the change of color and you know time is over.
Time limit on the 5-rod. The passing rod is 10 seconds. In the goalie area, it's 15. And on the 3-rod, 15 seconds. Marcus Steele looking to cut the American League in half. And he does. As he strokes it home near side, it's 2-1. Watch here. Best shot of the match so far for Marcus Steele as he gets that one deep to the near side against Lafredo, who was daring him to go there and just was a split second behind. Ryan Moore tries to pass along the wall. And this time successfully along that near wall. Moore looking to regain the 2-goal lead for America. Sets up the snake shot, fakes, fakes, fakes.
Right.
and calls timeout.
That push side looked like it was there, Jim, didn't it? Do you feel he was going to go for it?
I think Ryan had it in mind the entire time to use a timeout, or else he probably would have. Two-1 lead here in the second game in favor of the Americans. 1-0 lead. And you saw the two Austrian players discussing whether they might make a switch here. And you'll see that oftentimes with perhaps to give the opponent a different look, but they decided not to. We'll talk more about switches as they occur here. But Ryan Moore puts it back into play and strokes it down the middle. It's 3-1. Watch here as Ryan has been so aggressive throughout this second game. Looks and sees that hole down the middle, hits it, and gives his team the 2-goal lead once again. Deal can't hold on to it, expresses his frustration a little bit.
Reset warning, Jim.
Ryan walking it. Hand strokes it again. Down the middle, it's 4-1.
That was a reset warning from the referee there.
Yeah, there are resets. As we look at Ryan Moore hammering it down the middle. Of course, we mentioned the time constraints.
Reset is where you're trying to pass the ball or shoot the ball, and the opponent's making too much contact with the wall and adjusts the position of the ball. There's a procedure where you go reset, reset, reset warning, and then there's a technical foul awarded. Technical foul is basically what you call a penalty in football.
That's for him.
Marcus Thiel with possession on the 3-rod will step away and call timeout.
Yeah, you can hear the referee explaining there on the table mic to Todd Lafredo that the reset warning and reset warning have been given now to Marcus Thiel. If they could be more considerate, Jim, and talk in English, you and I can understand them, but they've gone to German now.
You can't understand them?
No, can you?
Yeah.
We speak a bit of French, but our German, not so good. We've had to speak French, haven't we, by default, for coming here for so many years.
Yeah, this is the 6th year now that the World Cup has been held here in Nantes, France. And we do get a switch. You see Ryan Moore is going to move back defensively just to give Marcus Thiel a little different look. Marcus shooting against Ryan Moore. Strokes it near side, so he walked it around beautifully and then found the hole to that near corner. Now he's going to switch back as we look at his shot once again. Really walked it beautifully, took a lot of time, and then trying to post him up was Ryan Moore, and that can be dangerous, and it was on that particular shot. But it remains 4-2 in favor of the Americans, who are in control here in game number 2. The Austrians did win the first game. Look how fast that wall pass is. Ryan for a second game win. Try to come near side. That is Marcus Thiel back there who makes the block. It comes up the table to Steindl. Is he going to shoot it? He has the option of calling timeout and bringing his partner back to forward, but instead he does shoot it and drills that near post and in.
Were we expecting that? I don't think we were, Jim.
I don't think Todd Alfredo was either. It's 4-3.
Okay.
Steindl showing no nerves at all.
Ryan Moore tries to pass down the middle. This is Marcus Thiel in the goalie area. But it's Ryan Moore who makes the steal, and another opportunity here for America to tie this second matchup at 1 game apiece. Ryan fakes, tries to come down the middle, Thiel with a block. And the pass down the middle again by Moore. He'll get another chance, his third, to win this second game. Ryan. Tried to come down the middle. Thiel this time blocks it and takes it away.
Great defense there.
This is what the Austrians do.
They
They're
fight.
so scrappy and such great fighters. Pass along the near wall by Moore. Another pass. Thiel keeps it out.
the Austrians, they're the boxer that gets punched in the face 4, 5, 6 times. Every time he goes down, he just gets back up for another one.
Moore ends up with it on his passing rod. Quick pass down the middle, blocked by Steindl, who remains in the forward position. Another block and another. Suddenly, the Austrians have gotten very tough defensively. Deal sends it up the table. This is Todd Lafredo, who has been known to hit a big shot or two in clutch situations. Tries to pass here, and Ryan perhaps wasn't ready, didn't catch it. Lafredo keeps it out, but Steindl picks it up on the 3-row. So does all that defense lead to a little bit of offense? And Steindl looks to tie it. Try to go back to that far side, blocked by Lafredo.
Great time for timeout now, Jim.
Ryan Moore will have another opportunity,
There
and
we
yes, he will call timeout.
Second timeout.
Had timeout written all over it, didn't it? Ryan's got a little bit nervy, a little bit of heaviness in the hands. Just needs to take a little bit of time and think what he's got done. They could make a switch, but I'd imagine Todd Lafredo will tell Ryan to stay there. Give him the confidence to keep going.
Yeah.
Because he has to have the confidence to go back onto Garlando, where Ryan would presumably stay up front again.
Ryan Moore will touch 2 men to put it back into play. And sets up the snake shot. And Heinz Kiesling says stop. We have a conversation with the refs.
Okay. Mit der 5 oder gleich? Ja, okay. Okay. While he's playing with the ball, please don't move with the 5. But this is distraction.
And a warning for distraction. You're not allowed to move behind the ball.
It's the right call. It's the correct call.
Ryan putting it into play, setting it up. Again, another chance to win this second game for the Americans. Moore tried to come near side, and boy, has Marcus Thiel done a good job defensively. Steindl picks it up on his 5-rod. Todd Lafredo looking to shoot, puts that one on goal. Ryan able to grab the rebound. I believe this is his 5th or 6th opportunity to win this game. Moore near side, and Thiel with just sensational defense makes the switch, the block, and the takeaway. And the back into the goal, and the Americans eventually do pull out game number 2.
Wo war der Ball?
Watch here. Always dangerous to go down the middle against Ryan Moore. And he makes you pay here.
Why would you do it? How many people have we seen concede a goal to Ryan Moore doing that? You simply don't go down the middle. Ryan Moore is going to slap you back, and it's not positioned to be in. Now we're going to find ourselves in the same situation with a third game playoff. So, as we were before, 1 ball on the Garlando, 2 on a 5-ball, back to Garlando, and so on. We'll play here until one team scores 5 and is in front by 2. If not, we'll keep going until one team wins by 2. That could be 10-8. Could be 64-62. Hopefully it won't be 64-62, Jim, because we've got planes to catch.
The U.S. won the opening round behind Billy Pappas. We're tied at 1 game apiece here in the second round. They've just completed the Women's World Cup final, where the national team of Denmark has defeated the national team of France, which perhaps is why you are seeing some of the spectators getting up and leaving. We are, of course, here in France. That's over in Zone B. That's on the right side of your screen there. We're in the center ring, Zone A, where the Men's World Cup final is taking place. Live on Quizzoom.com and ESPN3 in the United States. Coach Thomas Wagner looking on nervously. We'll open things up with 1 ball on the Garlando. Marcus Thiel, who was great defensively at the tail end of that second game, unfortunately He fell into the trap of trying to shoot it down the middle against Ryan Moore. Got a chance to strike first here, and he does. It's 1-0. So the Austrians hold on their home table.
Question, Jim.
Yeah.
Have they learnt, having both done it incorrectly, not to shoot down the middle against Ryan Moore? Do you think they've learnt?
We will find out, I'm sure. I'm not sure which hole he was shooting at there. It wasn't a corner, it wasn't a middle. Either way, Lafredo wasn't there. And the Austrians get the first goal on their home table. Back to fireball we go. And you see that Marcus Steele is starting in the forward, rather the goalie position. And a steal here by Steindl. And the pass along the wall. And the timeout. They're going to bring Marcus Steele back into the forward position. You get 2 timeouts a game, and you'll see this type of situation quite often where you put a guy back there to defend. The forward, who is normally the goalie, makes a steal on the 5-rod, or in this case, gets it to the 3-rod. Then we'll call timeout and bring the power player, the offensive player, back into the forward position. And Todd Lafredo will step to forward. And the switch made by the Americans as well, as Ryan Moore will defend against Marcus Steele. The Austrians leading 1-0 here in game number 3. Steele putting it into play, shooting against Moore. Marcus taking his time, tried to go back to the far side, blocked by Ryan Moore, sent on goal. Kept out by Patrick Steindl, who tried to pass along the outside wall. Perhaps he did learn. That's a smarter play. Keep it out of the middle. You're out of danger for the most part. Ryan, a big shooter from goal. Sends that one up the table towards the Austrian goal, and it's picked up by Steindl.
We could just call him a big shooter.
Lafredo almost able to steal it. And
Again, he went down the middle, nearly lost it.
Steele able to pick it up. He'll have a chance to steal one, but Ryan is there defensively. Rebound comes right back to Marcus Teal. Teal strokes it home, much to the dismay of Tony Spredeman, who will play in the 3rd round against Gerhard Dorr. Watch this. He gets it, sees the hole, and quickly attacks far side.
Okay.
Where's that cut or go straight? That's the right pick. He was going to score.
The Austrians have broken here on the American home table. They have stole the first one. Ryan Moore trying to get the second one here, and he's going to shoot his pull shot, of which he has a very good one. Moore tries to come down the middle, blocked and taken away by Teal, who has been sensational defensively, and he's going to call timeout. That's their second and final timeout. He'll return to forward and bring his partner Patrick Steindl back to goal. They burned both of their timeouts early in this 3rd game, Ben Mason.
I'm not sure if you want to burn them too quick. I'd quite like to see Teal back there and maybe shoot one, or maybe originally Steindl shoot it up front, because we saw him score. I think that if this does go a few more goals, the Americans get back into this leg, they might regret taking that timeout so early on, that second timeout so early on.
Patrick Steindl putting the ball back into play. Shot down the middle,
Great
up
save.
the table. Lafredo keeps it out. And Lafredo hammers this one off the outside wall and in. We head back over to the other table. Watch this, folks. You may not even be able to see it on the replay. That's an outside bank.
It's a 3/4 bank, isn't it? It's so fast.
It's now 2-1 as we return to the Austrian home table.
The Americans really needed that goal.
The Austrians have stolen one on the American table. The Americans trying to return the favor. And it'll be Todd Lafredo starting in the forward position as we switch tables. Ryan Moore back there defensively. Teal chips that one up. Can't connect. And here's Ryan, who will call timeout and bring Todd Lafredo back to goal. Jim Stevens and Ben Mason, the Kazoom.com and Kazoom Productions team. Happy to be here to bring you all the excitement of this great event here in Nantes, France, the ITSF World Cup of Table Soccer, the 2014 version. We are looking in at the national team final, the World Cup final. It is 2-1 here in game number 3. Second round doubles action. Shot down the middle on goal by Lafredo. Sent towards the goal by Moore and picked up by Steindl.
Different setup here from Todd. Is he looking to shoot?
He is.
He is.
Steindl keeps it out.
Again, going down the middle. Stop it.
Yeah, there's no reason to take the chance.
You.
There are times where you may want to take that chance. This is not one of them.
That's better.
Does go to the short side here, picked up by Lafredo. Now Todd, with the incredible lateral speed, will look to go down the middle, certainly. But he'll also time it perfectly and hit a good hole, although this one blocked by Teal.
When you're as quick as Todd, you can do it.
Lafredo, again, a shot down the middle, blocked and comes back to Teal. Marcus Teal for a 3-1 lead. Try to come near side, partially blocked, but rattles in. Well, the Austrians have gotten the first of possibly 2 on their home table. And again, Lafredo was there, but it spins in.
Okay.
3-1 lead here in the third game for the Austrian pair of Marcus Teal and Patrick Steindl. Ryan crisply through that lane.
Great picture of the focus on these two players' faces.
Looking to steal one back here is Ryan Moore. Try to come near side. Rebound comes back to Lafredo. Ryan Moore's confidence right now at perhaps a bit of a low ebb. Shot down the middle on goal by Lafredo. Rebound grabbed again by Moore. I think he's going to shoot the pull shot. I think he should shoot the pull shot.
Get that split.
He's looking at it and it strokes it down the middle. It's 3-2. So the Americans steal one back on the Austrian home table. We head back across the arena to the fireball. He really waited this out beautifully. Waited for the switch and the score down the middle.
If you're going to switch, Jim, you've got to switch quicker.
That's really the key if you're going to use a switching type of defense, is to make quick switches.
There's been a couple of people this weekend who've seen using that switch defense effectively, and the key on for both people is the speed at which you switch.
Okay.
Great shot there of the players and the crowd in the background, bringing you live coverage from Nantes, France. Marcus Teal with a pass attempt stolen away by Ryan Moore. It remains 3-2 in favor of the Austrians, but we're on the American home table for 2 balls. Teal steals it back and passes it through. Marcus Teal. Strokes it home near side. Match point for Teal and Steindl. And they have assured themselves at the very least of going back to their home table with an opportunity to win, as you see him beat Lafredo to the punch to the near corner.
Okay.
Got to get this point here. Otherwise the Americans can find themselves at 1-1.
Ryan Moore fortunate to pick this one up. Ryan has not caught many breaks all week, and this is one of them. Let's see if he can take advantage of it as he sets up the pull shot.
Close on time here.
Tries to come down the middle of the switch, and the block by Steindl and the pick up by Teal, and he has a chance to tie this match up. Does not have a timeout left as he sets up the snake shot, looking for a win. Quick shot near side, went wide of the goal, up into the air and off the table. If there was ever a time to take your time, that was it. Watch here. Kind of rushed the shot, sent it wide, although maybe Lafredo got a piece of that.
How much would you love to have a timeout there?
Okay.
As I said earlier, burning them both early on, maybe a mistake.
Trailing 4-2, Todd Lafredo puts it back into play. Remember, the third game is a win by 2 affair. Lafredo tried to bang it off the inside wall and goes along that wall and drops in. We head back over to Garlando, with Austria now leading 4-3.
The Americans have got to get this point as well.
The Austrians will have possession of the ball. As you see, that one just trickle behind the defender of Patrick Steindl, who puts his hands up in submission. What can I do? Ryan Moore will defend against the 5-rod of Marcus Thiel. It is match point for the Austrians back on their home table. They just need one to tie this overall match up at 1 apiece. Blocked by Moore. Again, Moore with a block defensively on the 5-rod. Thiel again. Able to get this one through, and he's got a chance to tie the overall match up at 1 apiece.
Again, you'd love a timeout here, wouldn't you, Jim?
Marcus Thiel for the win. Try to go to the far side. Lafredo with a block. Ryan Moore with a rebound on the 5-rod. And remember, it is win by 2, so if the Americans can score this one, we go, in essence, into overtime, and Moore along the near wall. What will he shoot? Snake or pull? He'll shoot the pull shot. Ryan Moore.
Straight, I think. Straight's massive.
And he finds it. It's 4-4. 2 in a row from the Americans. Have evened it at 4 here in the 3rd game. Nice call by my partner Ben Mason, who read the situation, read the defense, as did Ryan Moore, who found the straight hole.
American team look a little bit happier than they did 2 balls ago.
4-4. It is win by 2. We'll spend one more ball on this table. Thiel tried to brush that one down, picked up by Lafredo. If the Americans get this one, we'd head back over to Fireball. They'd have a chance to win it. Shot down the middle, and Ryan Moore's going to get an opportunity to give his team the lead.
That's the thing with Garlando. It can often come back to the attacker.
From pull shot position, Ryan Moore. Tried to stroke the long, angled that one back into the defender, then the rolling pull shot. It's match point for the USA. Watch this. He missed the first one, doesn't miss that one. Match point for Ryan Moore and Todd Lafredo.
You've got to say, Jim, this is really going to take the wind out of the Austrians. They had a chance to win this match. They've blown it. If this goes in, they're 2-0 down.
Okay.
The wind is gone.
Marcus Thiel, who has been very good on the fireball table, puts it into play on the 5. Pass attempt blocked by Moore.
Let's not forget the Americans got 1 timeout left. I'd be very surprised if they get the ball if they don't take a timeout.
Rush pass here. Thiel does not have a timeout left, and it might have cost him these last few possessions. Shot near side, wide of the goal, and knocked in, and there it is. So the Americans come back again after losing the opening game to defeat the Austrians. They are now up 2-0, just 1 match away from their 4th career World Cup title. Watch this. Marcus Thiel takes the shot up, around, stabbed off the man by the 5-rod of Moore, and in. Tough break for the Austrians, who played so hard and well, but come up short.
Real shame, Jim, and I think 2-0 down with America bringing to the table Tony Sprederman, the form player of the year, arguably the best player in the world over the last 2 or 3 years. Gerhard Dohr has got an awful lot of work on his hands.
The Austrians won the first game of each of the first 2 rounds, but the Americans came back to win. They're up 2-0, and they are, as Ben Mason said, sending perhaps the best player in the world, Tony Sprederman, to the table with an opportunity to win the World Cup. What a great weekend it's been here in Nantes, France. We had singles and doubles competitions earlier in the week. The team event started over the weekend, and it has been extremely exciting. And we have all come down to this, potentially the final game of the weekend, as the Americans are up 2-0 over Team Austria. Third round, Gerhard Dohr, the hero of the semifinal round against Luxembourg, as he won that 5th and final leg in a very closely contested final match. And he'll go up against the great American Tony Sprederman, who has an opportunity here to close it. And usually when Tony Sprederman, who has won something like 35 titles this year alone on the American Tour, as well as winning the men's doubles championship 2 days ago here in Nantes, France. Usually when he's got a chance to close it, Ben Mason, he does.
Yeah, you're certainly right, Jim, and that's what he'll look to do today. And Tony Spreadman is so strong in all areas of the game. But he's playing against a guy who, I don't think you mind me saying, doesn't understand when he's meant to lose. Gerhard Dohr was in the 5th position in the quarterfinals against the Netherlands. He found himself match point down 4 times. Found himself down 4 times and still managed to win. In the semi-finals against Luxembourg, the same thing again. So if there's ever anyone who could come out and beat Tony Spreadman, it must be Gerhard, because he has no idea when he's beat.
However, there may be no better closer in the game than Tony Spreadman, and he has a chance to close here. We will open things up here momentarily on the Garlando table, the home table of Gerhard Dohr and the Austrian team. If we get to a 4th round, it would be Oliver Willem and Alexander Lucas for the Austrians. It would be Robert Mares and Tracy McMillan for the Americans. And let's head back down to the Garlando table as we open up this 3rd round with the Americans leading 2-0. Tony using the left hand to send it up the table, and Tony Spreadman really has become the face of American table soccer over the last few years. There you see him.
And hair.
Tony out of Tampa, Florida. Gerhard Dohr from Austria.
Where's Tony originally from, Jim? He's a new to Florida, isn't he?
Been in Florida the last few years, originally out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Spreadman on the left, Dohr on the right. Gerhard able to pick it up on his 5-rod. We'll see how Tony Spreadman does on this table. This is a table perhaps that Tony Spreadman has the least experience on.
He does have a Garlando in his house, didn't he? He imported one from Europe a couple of years ago to make sure he got practice for this event. So
and you'll
the
find
dedication you get with the Americans, isn't it?
You do, and with others as well. There are clubs in Europe that have all 5 of the international tables that they can train on. Watching Gerhard Dohr earlier playing the Leonhardt table, I have to assume he has access to one of those.
Yeah.
But this indeed is his home table. Of course, so much of table soccer is mental that Tony Spreadman, no matter which table he plays on, is going to be effective. Gerhard Dohr again looking for the early lead, and he finds it using a standard front pin. We've been watching snake shooters. Watch the right hand here. It's not on the wrist, it's using the hand, and it's using the near side of the goal.
Also, Jim, big fan of the left hook, Gerhard, isn't he? Expect to see Gerhard using his left hand on the 5-bar to also shoot, not just pass.
Nice pass through the lane here by Spreadman, who sets it up, quickly converts. It's 1-1. Tony didn't take a real long time here, but he saw the hole. And again, he has the standard grip on this shot effort and uses it to the near side. So he matches a near side standard front pin with one of his own. And Gerhard Dohr, you mentioned it earlier, there's the left hook, which is slang for that shot with the 5-row using the left hand. Gerhard reads it very well and knocks it in off the corner. Tony says, not much I could do about that. That one went all the way out there to that corner. Spreadman able to advance it through the lane. Tony's 5 looking solid so far. This time I think Tony will set up the snake shot. Yes, he does. Walking it around is Spreadman and hammering that near corner once again. It's 2-2.
So explosive, so fast.
Tony always brings great energy to the table when he competes and energetically goes to the near corner here.
He very much is the poster boy of American football, isn't he?
And perhaps international table soccer these days as well. He won the doubles world championship 2 days ago with partner Robert Mares. Dominated the American tour this year as it's never been dominated before. He's had a sensational year. Shot with the left hand is on goal. There's Tony to grab it, but it spins away from him.
I think you could describe, in likening in tennis terms, Spreadman is Sampras and Billy Pappas is Agassi.
And the left hand down the middle into the goal for Dohr.
2 fantastic players, both naturally talented, one a bit anti-establishment, the other a little bit more the poster boy and doing the right things and maybe a bit better work ethic. Great comparisons to be drawn between the 2 players there.
Okay.
Ball put into play by Spredeman. Lead. Gerhard Dorr able to bounce this one through. He sets it up. That shot attempt blocked by Spredeman.
Yes.
And that one's going to roll to a dead stop. And that one blocked back into the goal by Spredeman. You saw the left-handed shot effort by Dorr. And Tony was there to knock it in. Watch this. Dorr tries to go down the middle. Spredeman makes him pay.
And viewers, on the count of 3, what don't we do? Try to go down the middle. You can only do it if you've got really fast lateral speed. And there's no one in the world fast enough left-handed. Just no one.
Dorr fast here with the right hand to the near side, though. He surges back ahead 4-3, and he'll call timeout.
These players sometimes got to remember they're not playing against players in their own club or in Austria or any smaller European competition. You're playing against the best 7 players from every other country in the world. These aren't players you can just dink one down the middle. It's just not going to happen.
10 seconds.
Tony Spredeman putting it into play. Pass attempt here by Tony. Fortunate to get it back. And brushing it through the lane. Tony with a chance to tie it at 4. And he has been shooting the ball very well. Spredeman. Stokes it home to the near side. It's 4-4. So Tony Spredeman with a chance to break on his opponent's home table. And Tony indeed looks really good on the Garlando, doesn't he?
So strong.
Look at the lateral speed and the depth of that shot. And even Gerhard Dorr appreciates it as he walks away.
Yeah, before this match, Tony was on one of the side tables practicing warming up, and we were just chatting, and he said to me, Mace, I love the Garlando because it's so hard for everyone. And because I can make myself good in it, it gives me an advantage, which is just Tony's work ethic, isn't it? It might be hard, but he's going to work so damn hard that he'll be the best. Different class.
Gerhard Dorr putting it into play in a ball that you would think the Austrians have to have. And he's going to get an opportunity to win this first game.
He's worked that near side so well, Jim.
Gerhard Dorr. Try to go back to the far side, blocked by Spredeman up into the air and off the table. So Tony has earned the right to put it back into play.
I'd like to see him come near side, Jim. He's hit it so well and so strong just to give himself that chance. Look, that near side's huge. Look at it. Oh, that's completely the wrong pick.
Tony with a nice save. Now advancing it up the table, 2-rod to 5. And Tony Spredeman with a chance to steal this first game. The Americans have not won a complete game on the Garlando table yet in this match. Tony can do it here, and he does.
Stop.
And it will be taken away. Tony Spredeman spun the rod in his follow-through. It cannot spin more than 360 degrees. Tony kicking himself a little bit.
Tony realised, didn't he? He realised as soon as he started to celebrate what he had done.
Okay.
It remains 4-4 as it's taken away from Spredeman. Dorr. Trying to pass along the wall. Can't complete it. Tony sends it up with the left hand towards the goal. Nice save by Dorr, who gets his left hand back on that goalie rod to keep it out and wipes his brow. Dead ball will be put back into play by Gerhard Dorr. Remains 4-4. Tony steals it. Another chance here to win game number 1.
Don't spin it.
Tony Spredeman. Stokes strokes it home to the far side, so he makes it count on the second attempt. Tony Spredeman has won the opening game. He'll head over to the American home table, the Fireball, with a chance to win it for Team USA. First of all, the steal. Spredeman then sets it up in snake shot position. Doesn't take a lot of time here before finding the far side of the goal and giving himself a win on the Garlando table. Will now head over to the American table, the Fireball, and Tony Spredeman's got a chance to win the World Cup. USA has won each of the first 2 rounds by 2-1 scores. However, the difference was in each of those, Austria won the first game.
Expect to see a different passing series as well from Tony here. You're going to see him use a far wall stick pass series. Will look very, very different. It's nothing like we'll have seen so far today.
Pass along that near wall. Gerhard Dorr, chance to get back into it here. And he cuts that one back between. Apologizes, didn't mean to do it, but it counts. Spredeman sends it towards the goal, then picks it up off that back wall. And walking it around and firing it home far side, it's 1-1. Watch this.
Okay.
All right. Spredeman was able to find that hole far side. Dorr gently angling that one up, passing it to his 3-rod.
A chip, stroke, a brush, Jim.
Gerhard. Very good multi-table player. Finds the hole down the middle here. You can make an argument, I think, this weekend that Gerhard Dorr is the best Austrian player. He has played extremely well and in big situations, as you documented earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy's got no idea when he's beaten.
Tony Spredeman towards the goal. Tony picks it up. He'll set it up looking to tie it up. And strokes it home near side. It's 2-2. Tony remaining aggressive offensively on the 3-rod. So good at reading holes. Tony Spredeman was able to find that hole to the near side.
Okay.
And that one knocked back towards the goal. Gerhard Dorr has possession.
I hope people are appreciating what they're watching here. They're seeing Tony Spredeman you're seeing absolute masterclass, a fantastic display here for Team USA. Looking to close it out, doesn't want to take it to a third and final one, wants to get it done here.
Gerhard Dorr tied up with Tony Spredeman here in this second game. Tony gets back there so quickly, so good at the transition game. That means moving from offense to defense, from rod to rod, goalie to forward quickly. And Gerhard Dorr will call timeout. Tony Spredeman steps away shaking his head. The Austrians staying positive. They've come back from 2-0 deficits before.
You know, Tony knows he's rushed a little bit there, doesn't he? He's played a little bit loose. He's not been what you and I would call crisp.
Tony Spredeman with a chance to close it for Team USA. They lead 2-0. He leads 1-0 here in this third round singles match. And when bounces back towards the goal, Tony steps back there to retrieve it. He'll now look to send it forward. Off the back wall, and Spreitman able to pick it up. That is a planned play where he knocks it off that back wall. In essence, it's a pass. Spreitman for a 3-2 lead. Trying to go back to that far side. Rimmed it off that far post. Picked up by Dorr. Tony Spreitman passing 2-rod to 5-rod, then puts that one on goal. And back down the middle, Tony Spreitman again with the block. What's been the theme, Ben Mason?
People rushing their shots and other people going back down the middle. Look at it. Every time back down the middle, it's in. Right, Austria conceded 6 or 7 goals by going back down the middle. That's effectively lost them these legs.
Yeah, from the goalie position, you just can't take that chance against the quick-handed Tony Spreitman or earlier Ryan Moore. They're just too quick defensively. It's too dangerous. It's not worth the risk.
The only time you can do it is if you're doing it from a set shot from a front pin, where you've got that extra bit of speed, and also it's not quite clear whether you're going to get it out at an angle.
Look at that beautiful pass along the outside wall by Spreitman. Tony looking to send himself into a 2-goal lead. It is overall championship point for the Americans. Tony Spreitman in a position to close, in a position to win the cup, to regain the cup for Team USA. They won 3 in a row from 2009 through 2011. Were upset in the semifinals 2 years ago by Germany. And last year lost in a tough final match to Team France. But they have brought the strongest team ever put together to this event this year in Nantes, France. And it appears as though they're going to win the cup if Tony can put in one more goal. Gerhard Dorr trying to keep the hopes of Austria alive. And Spreitman has possession of it on his 5. Bounce pass. Chance to win the cup right here for Tony Spreitman. Looking for the 2014 Table Soccer World Cup for the USA. Spreitman strokes it home. And there it is. Team USA, after 12 months of waiting, has regained the World Cup title in an exceptional performance here this weekend. Great performance across the board by all the American players. They won in 2009, they won in 2010, 2011, and now again in 2014. The Team USA, the Dream Team, are the World Cup champions. What a great performance by Team USA here this weekend as they have recaptured their prestigious World Cup title in a sensational performance. They beat France. They avenged their loss last year against Team France in the semifinals and then beat a very chippy Austrian team in the World Cup final. Ben Mason will be joined by team captain Robert Mares here momentarily for a post-event interview.
Ben Mason down by the finals area, joined by two members of Team USA, Captain Robert Mares and the player we saw win the final match, Tony Sprederman. Robert, you're the captain. Tell me what the thoughts are going through your mind now you've regained the World Cup for Team USA.
I'm just really proud of our guys. We couldn't be more proud to represent USA and the high level of foosball that we bring with us.
You guys really played some excellent foosball from Thursday in the singles and doubles competitions right through to today in the team event. Tony Sprederman, you've been excellent all weekend. How did it feel to shoot that final goal and win the World Cup for the USA?
It was satisfying. We weren't too pleased with last year's result. We went home with a sour taste in our mouth, and we went home and thought about it all year long. We had fundraisers. We had, we practiced really hard. We got multi-table experience, and it's very, very satisfying to come back and redeem ourselves.
So thoughts must now, although you've won this year, switch to 2015. Are you going to be able to compile the dream team again?
Oh, I don't see why not. I think we have a lot of national pride. Knowing the caliber of players we have in the States, it's a shame not to bring top-level guys out. I would imagine you're going to see another top-level team in the 2015.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to commentate and present on this. I hope you've all enjoyed it too. Thank you for watching.
That's for everyone back home.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 2014 World Cup champions, the national team of the United States of America.